Hello everybody, welcome back to my movie review series. Today we'll be breaking down one of the most important films humanity has ever seen, certainly since the dawn of time. We'll be breaking down the movie X. And so, do your typical thing, we got some plot synopsis, we got our major themes, which will be very important for this video, and we'll have our overall grade. Just got back from watching it, do the best I can to break down the plot as best as I can remember it, give my overall grade, and talk about major themes. So first, what caught my eye about this film, it's a horror slasher film. And here's the description. A group of actors set out to make an adult film in rural Texas under the noses of their reclusive hosts. But when the elderly couple catches their young guest in the act, the cast finds themselves in a desperate fight for their lives. So, again, like I said, horror's not especially watching it by myself. If I was Netflix and chilling, might like some more horror films, but obviously never Netflix and chill, that's not even real. But horror's not one of my go-to, but I was not going to sit through 3 hours of Batman. So that one sounded like it could go really bad really quick, so obviously I was going to go check that one out. So the movie starts off. Opening scenes is really again, you get cut scenes from the absolute end, just sheriff walking through, and this is set in 1979 Texas. And so you just get the sheriff and the deputy sheriffs walking through this house with bodies just everywhere, and asking each other, what happened. Again, 30-second, couple minute clip, and then you get back to, again, you meet the first chick, Maxine. You have Maxine, who's going to be a groundbreaking, world-renowned porn star. You have Lorraine, this is like a crew, not very many characters. And she's the girlfriend of Wayne Gilroy. He's like 40. I don't know, she's probably late 20s. And he's like the executive producer. You have Lorraine, who's the girlfriend of the camera dude, who's RJ Nichols. And they're the camera crew. RJ wrote the story. Or the great breakthrough porn film. They're going to make a dirty film that's actually cinematic. Yeah. So that's one of our major themes. It's going to be porn. It's going to be very, very informative. Then you have Jackson Hole, who's Kid Cudi. I did not know that was Kid Cudi whatsoever. But he's the main porn star. He's swinging the big pipe. So he's a very, very important asset to the crew. And so Jackson and there's another girl. I forgot to write her up here. But the blonde chick, Jackson has a girlfriend as well, Bobby Lynn. And so we'll talk about Bobby Lynn too, but she's not up here. And so they're in a van, it's called Plowing Service, so it's very, very good branding. But they Maxine is snorting coke throughout the whole movie, so after the sheriff scenes, she's snorting some coke, and then Wayne and the whole group is like, let's hit the road. And they basically leave out, they start out and they leave like a topless bar or something, again, just showing some boobies, making some money somewhere. But they get in their plowing service van and they hit the road. And they've rented, again, they're on a budget, they've rented effectively an Airbnb, just a second, like a stable house, some rural Texas farmland. Old couple's got a barn or something they can stay in. So they rented that, and that's where they're going. They stop at a convenience store, and they get all their supplies, and Maxine and Wayne are talking about how Maxine's going to be the greatest porn star of all time, and the world's going to know her name and make all the money in the world. And then so they leave the convenience store, get some supplies, snacks, food, and they head to the farm. They pass some premonition. They pass a cow that has been hit by a semi-truck and there's blood and guts everywhere. And so they pass through there, and then they get to the old people's house. On the cast, the old people aren't even listed, so I just called them old man and old lady. So they first get there, Wayne goes in to say, hey, what's up? Checking in. And the guy pulls out a double barrel, is like, well, what are you doing? Who are you? He's like, oh yeah, you're the guy that I talked to on the phone. Puts the gun away. And then he's like, you have a house on a hill type of deal, and probably 100, 200 yards away, you have a second house, a barn that's been made out into a second house. And so the old man's like, yeah, Wayne, you said it was just going to be you and not the other people, but Wayne throws in a couple bits of money, and that's that. And so the old man goes back up, leaves the house. The porn cast is in the second house, and the old lady's just kind of staring out at each other, ominously at the people, and you can see her through the window. And so they start filming their wonderfully cinematic porn video. The way it works is, again, Wayne is kind of like the director. R.J. Nichols, the camera guy, I think also wrote the story. And then Jackson Hole, Kid Cudi, he's the main star. He's giving out all the pipe. And so he pipes down his girlfriend, who's the Bobby Lynn, the blonde chick. And that scene goes fantastic. Just swimmingly well. Meanwhile, Maxine, while she's waiting for her scene, she goes swimming. This is rural Texas, goes into a lake, strips down naked, swimming, just floating in this river body of water. Big alligator comes up behind her. The old lady ominously comes down and just stares at her. Maxine doesn't notice the old lady or the alligator, gets out of the water right before the alligator eats her. And so after Bobby Lynn and Jackson Hole's wonderful scene, now it's Maxine's turn, and that's correct. Maxine is Wayne's girlfriend, and she's also going to get piped down by Jackson Hole. So, very important. Again, Wayne's with it because they're all about to come up on this cinematic porn film. And so they film that, and that's another sex scene. And then they're all, day one of filming's done, and they're all sitting around. Jackson Hole plays a song on the guitar. Bobby Lynn sings along. It's a popular song. I forget which one off the top of my head. But then after that, that's when the horror really starts going. I forget who's the first person. Oh, the first. Okay, so they're all sitting around talking again about the wonderful day of filming, and then Lorraine gets really interested because she liked what she saw, and she's the camera chick, and she's like, Wayne, how are you okay with your girlfriend getting that big stick from Jackson Hole? And he's just like, again, it's all for the come up, it's all for the Benjis. We're gonna fuck up the check together. Let's get it. And then so Lorraine, she's like, well, if I don't want to be the camera chick, I want to be in the movie. This is gonna be such a big hit. I want to be in the movie. And to which her boyfriend R.J. Nichols is certainly not excited about that. So R.J.'s like, no, I don't want to do that. Definitely don't do that, Lorraine. Don't fuck Jackson Hole's big old pipe. Please don't do that. But Lorraine's like, I'm going to do it anyway. So RJ and Wayne have a man-to-man conversation about doing it for the Benjis. And then so Lorraine gets piped down by Jackson Hole as well. And so RJ's very upset about that. He's crying to himself in the showers. He's like, fuck it, let's leave and let them stay here and finish filming. And so real no horror yet in the movie at all. But he goes up, he gets in the van, and there's a scene before this where the old lady is like trying to swoon the old man. The old lady had creeped around and seen one of the three chicks getting the pipe, and so she's feeling a little aroused and trying to seduce the old man. The old man's like, nah, I have a bad heart. I might have a heart attack and die from the bonage, so we're gonna pass. And so the old lady's not satisfied. And so RJ's in the camera crew. He's getting ready to leave. He's making a break. Not even making a break for it. He's just leaving because his girlfriend just got Jackson Hold, and so he's going to leave. And classic horror scene. Car headlights panning, and then bam, an old lady just sitting there staring at you. And of course he's like, "What's wrong with you, ma'am? Can I help you?" And she's like, "Look at me the way you looked at her." Basically, now, since the old man's not going to give the old lady some pipe, well, now she's going to try to seek it from R.J. Nichols. And she starts lowering her draw screen, and she's literally like 80, 85, 90, so it's real hot. And he's just like, nah. And then she just pulls out a knife and stabs him in the neck. And so he's bleeding out on the ground, and she kind of like gets on top of him and just starts stabbing him. And then basically cuts his fucking head off. Again, definitely a slasher film, more gory than horror, really. Again, a couple of jump out scenes, not really much. But so basically, RJ is now dead. He is off the map. He's gone. And you have an extremely weird scene with the old lady basically doing like a dance, doing like a silhouette dance thing. I don't know. And so he's the first one gone. And then I forget what happens, but Lorraine, now she's having second thoughts. Is he going to break up with me because I just took some massive pipe from a porn star? Impromptu? Maybe Lorraine, but now he just got murked by the old lady. So Lorraine and Wayne are going to go look for RJ. And so Wayne goes to look around the barn. Like there's I forget, it's like a stable house, like it's a second house, and then there's an actual barn. Wayne goes into the barn, hears some noises, slowly walking through the barn, steps on a plank of wood with a nail in it, bleeding out through his foot. It's like, I don't want tetanus, and then sees some lights move behind a couple holes in the barn. Another classic, very, very trite horror movie scene is he sees the light moves, and now he's going to go stick his eyeballs right up next to the holes and see what happens. Guess what happens? He gets a pitchfork to the eyeballs. So the old lady has now murked Wayne, his eyeballs pop out, has now murked Wayne and RJ. Meanwhile, Lorraine is in the main house asking around for some help, and the old man locks her in the basement. So again, nobody else knows anybody else is dead. And then at this point, I believe Jackson Hole wakes up, and yeah, I think it's Jackson Hole or Bobby Lynn. I forget who dies first. But the way Jackson gets whacked is the old man then inquires for Jackson to help him look for his wife, and they go looking around the woods and the water where Maxine was swimming naked, and Jackson sees the flashlight, gets the flashlight. They have some exchange about being a Marine. Again, I guess the old man was a Marine or served at some point, and they go basically no real initiation or interaction, or like Jackson Hole does not become aware that the old man's about to whack him, and the old man just goes, I know what you are, pulls out the double barrel and blows him into the water. He gets eaten. And then, he gets blown away, he doesn't get eaten. So he's gone, and his girlfriend, Bobby Lynn, and I forget who dies first, but then Bobby Lynn, she's with the old lady, sees the old lady out there, again, after trying to seduce RJ, and she's literally just naked out by the dock on this little body of water, and Bobby Lynn is like, let me help you, old lady, I'm gonna help you. And then the old lady again gets sexually frustrated that she did not get plowed by Jackson Hole's big wiener, and so the old lady then pushes Bobby Lynn into the water, and she gets eaten by the alligator. So Jackson Hole gets a shotgun, double barrel to the chest. His girlfriend Bobby Lynn gets pushed into the water. So you have 4 people left living: Lorraine, Maxine, the old man, and the old lady. Lorraine, again, she's trapped in the cellar in the main house. She gets a hatchet and breaks down a panel of the wood door, sticks her hand around, and guess what happens? The old man's back and he's beating her hand. So, beats her hand. Also, when Lorraine is in the basement, there's another dead body hanging up there with another big schlong. So I think the old man, the plot is like fake dementia and get some people to pipe down his old lady. I think that's kind of like the goal. Like the major motif is old lady's not getting laid because her man might have a heart attack. So, Maxine, there's another scene where Maxine is running from the old man and the old lady. There's only 2 left, and now it's very clear that they're getting hunted. And so she hides under the bed. The old man and old lady bang one out themselves. And so, again, another really hot scene. A couple of 85-year-olds bumping uglies. Really, really, really gets the juices flowing. And Maxine is literally under the bed. Again, the bed's going up and down, and Maxine's under there like, oh, sweet. And so she crawls away, gets away, goes to get the gun or get in the car and just drive away. And there's the steak knife that the old lady butchered RJ with is in the tire, so she can't use the car she has. She's going to try to get the keys for the truck of the old man and old lady. Gets the gun. Wayne had a gun in the glove compartment of his truck. Gets the gun, goes inside, and hears Lorraine trapped in the basement just screaming. And so Maxine lets out Lorraine, and Lorraine's like, I'm not going to be quiet, I was just trapped in a basement. I don't want to live, I'm going to scream really loud because this is a shitty horror movie. And so there's some back and forth with Lorraine and Maxine just about like what to do for like 30 seconds. Lorraine sprints out the door, boom! Right when she goes out the door, she gets blown away with the shotgun. So now she's gone. The only one left is Maxine, and the old man and old lady are discussing what to do with all the bodies. And so the old man and the old lady go to move one of the bodies. I think it was Lorraine, the one they just blew away. And Lorraine's hiding again down the hallway in the center of the house with a gun. And the old man has a heart attack from carrying the bodies and dies. So the old man is now dead. He didn't have a heart attack when he was banging the old lady. But when they were moving the bodies, he had a heart attack. He is now gone. And so at that point, Maxine senses her chance. She comes out with a .38 probably, just a little revolver, and is pointing at the old lady, and she's like, a couple words of exchange, pulls the trigger, click, 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 the gun's not loaded. So the old lady is now her chance to whack Maxine. So she picks up the double barrel, which again, not clear if they've reloaded it or not, but picks up the double barrel shotgun. Literally now shoots the shotgun, but Maxine's so quick-witted, she just ducks it. Shotgun, close range, just ducks out the way. So she misses the shotgun shot, but the old lady is clearly not used to toting the 12 gauge, so she flings backward and breaks her hip. So now the old lady's injured, her hip's broken, and she wants help. Now she wants help from Maxine because she broke her hip, and her husband just had a heart attack. And so Maxine gets in the truck with no real difficulty at this point, and the old lady's like, help me, help me. And so Maxine helps her, backs up the truck, runs over her head twice, just squirts out like a basketball. So now the old lady's dead. And Maxine does one more bump of coke and it rides off into the sunset. And then the absolute end of the movie is the initial opening scenes, the sheriff and the deputy sheriff saying, what happened here, I have no clue at all. So that is the plot synopsis. So overall grade, fucking D. I was considering leaving the theater, not like on the edge. D- to be on the edge, waiting for one more dumb shit to happen. But again, I decided to get a horror slasher film about people making porn. So it was either going to be a decent horror movie or definitely a kind of a humorous miss. So definitely got to give that one a D. Overall, major themes: shooting porn, I think if your camera chick started banging out Jackson Hole with this long schlong, and in one of the scenes he comes out, he's talking to the old lady or the old man about finding his old lady that's wandering, and you can just see the elephant trunk, just the third leg just swinging in the doorway. Fucking hilarious. But that's kind of the end of that. Any other major themes? Again, I guess don't carry bodies. If you're worried about having a heart attack, that could sneak up on you and get you. So don't move any bodies if you have a heart attack. If you're looking to shoot a porn video, don't go to the old creepy people's house where they're sexually unsatisfied, so they're just luring in people with big wieners. You gotta watch out for that too. So similar movies, I hope not. So that's the most promising movie I've seen to date. If you're stuck on something to do for an hour and 45 minutes, maybe see the birth of your first child, maybe go hang out at a family reunion, or go see X the movie. You're going to want to go see X the movie because it's just a blockbuster hit of the century. So there you have it. That is my review of X the movie. Definitely don't check it out, or check it out if you want to. Thanks for watching.